This is a review and commentary and reading of Blue Ice How to Clean. This is the Self Identity Through Ho'oponopono, MsKr SITH Conversations, Book 5. And there are 8 books in the series. This is considered the Rainbow series of books. And these books were taken from transcripts of radio conversations, and out of those transcripts, these books were produced. And so I'm going to read to you Chapter 7, Cleaning with Land and Clients. Now, if you love Ho'oponopono like I do, you might want to just get the whole series of books at one time. You can order the whole series and you will save on shipping that way. If you decide to get one book at a time, you have to pay $9.99 per book. Also, the books are small, so if you do get the whole series, it will fit in one of those priority United States priority mail envelopes. That's how small these books are. Just weigh the pros and cons. Do you want one book or do you want the whole series? It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to read to you Chapter 7, Cleaning with Land and Clients. Haleakala, Dr. Hewlin says, "So, I've been told you're a real estate broker. Can you tell us how you work with that? How do you work with people and land?" And KR says, "I think I do a lot of cleaning, but I miss a lot. I clean to take a client on, and I clean to be competent with the real estate transaction. If the person understands Ho'oponopono, I can share different cleaning tools with them. In cleaning with real estate, the land has a history, and it has its own consciousness. We want to be cleaning with the big picture of what's going on. We can't really own land. Legally, we own land, but can we really own land? You can't. And I was taking a class, and it was Native American Studies, I believe. And they also don't believe that you can own land, and I agreed with them. It's like, how can you own the land? You really can't. You don't even have the authority to say, when come here, hurricane go over there. Well, I should say normal people don't have the authority. Morna was able to divert an actual hurricane, and I think I read that a couple of weeks ago in one of the other books. um, I don't know, but Morna, she was a kahuna and she did cleaning all the time. And so um, I believe she had that power gifted to her to do that. Going back to the text, you can't spiritually own it, but you have a connection to it. You have a responsibility for it. So we're putting all of that in the cleaning, and ideally it would be that the person ends up in the right place at the right time, and we've all benefited from the cleaning. Whatever can come off the land will come off the land. Ahelakala, Dr. Hewlin. I'm practicing pronunciating his name correctly so I can honor him. Aheliakala, Dr. Hewlin. So, if you, as the realtor, are working to cut the ties with the land and the people and all of that, then ultimately what you're saying is that the land can actually sell itself, right? It will be inspired to sell itself to the right person. KR, correct. I've had that experience recently. Aheliakala, Dr. Hugh Lynn, tell us your experience so people can understand. I have an appreciation that you're not in there to make money, right? KR, right. So this person needed to sell their place. Okay, so we're cleaning. And then, with the market being whatever it was, there were financial concerns, and the client became very stressed about the finances. The client had ideas such as you have to put up a sign and you have to put out an advertisement. So I'm cleaning and cleaning. I said, all right, I'll get the sign, but the property didn't want the sign. I had a hard time, but I thought the sign could have hurt the situation. Okay, so the property spoke to her and didn't want the sign, and KR thought that the sign could have hurt the situation because the property didn't want the sign. But she says, I kept cleaning and we ended up getting an excellent buyer and a very good solution in the big picture. It was a good deal and the transaction closed easily. But part of the time I looked at myself and thought that maybe I should have said to the client, look, as your realtor, I'm not going to put a sign up. I see it as hurting the whole transaction. Heliacula, Dr. Hulin says, as a real estate person, you know that signs go up, don't they? So yes, according to real estate, quote unquote, law, you should have signs up. That's one of the rules of real estate. KR says, yes, and ads go in the paper. You do open houses. Does it help the house? I don't think so. If you're inspired and if from the cleaning you hear, wow, let's do the sign, let's do an open house, okay, but it has to be something that the property is interested in doing. KR, and I will always talk to the property. Oh, I switched the page, and when you switch the page, it puts the name of the person talking, so it's still KR. And I'll always talk to the property. I mean, I think that's what really made the difference is that I said to the property, you've got to help us. We're going down here. I was going crazy. And then I saw that the property really pulled in the right buyer. Properties aren't ignorant and they're certainly not unconscious. So the sooner I can get to the cleaning and get the property participating, the better. So I'm taking notes for myself. Heliacula, Dr. Hulin. So, KR, can you go over a cleaning process? Let's say you're selling the property and you get that this cleaning tool is correct to use. Tell us how you would use it on the property that you, as the real estate agent, have been asked to sell. KR, the cleaning process is that you see yourself with a balloon on a stick, or just say, I hold a balloon on the stick. Then you see yourself like a kid going down the street and you can have that cleaning tool, that image with you. So just to say something, there are physical cleaning tools and or you can use the mental image. So say you have an adverse reaction to flowers. So instead of being near the flower and getting an allergic reaction, you can see the flower in your mind. And I believe it was the chrysanthemum that Dr. Hulin really liked, and that was a cleaning tool. Let's see. And if you were traveling, going back to the book, and if you were traveling, going any place, or even sitting at your desk, you can hold it. It looks like if you hold it, wave it around a bit, or play with it, it helps. So that balloon on a stick is a cleansing process. Mentally, I would hold the stick with the balloon on it and kind of gently wave it around. Now, as you're talking, I see myself asking the property if it wants one. I can go to the property and hold it. I see I can offer one to the clients involved. It could be anything. Even if you have it on a listing service, they could hold the stick with a balloon. Haliakala, Dr. Hulin, you would do this all mentally, KR? She responds, yes. Dr. Hulin, what about land, KR? Let's say you have a building that needs to sit empty. How do you work with something like that? Let's say one of your buildings needs to be cleaned. What does it all mean? KR, I would initiate the cleaning. I ask what's going on. What can I include in my cleaning? What's the purpose here? And then I begin. After the cleaning, I look to get input from the building and to get the relationship going with the building and seeing what it would look like. I had a client with real estate and they said the house needs improvement. I said, that's kind of being mean. You're not asking the house what it needs. You could ask the house, do you need a new roof? Instead, you're telling the house, oh, your roof is crappy. You need this, 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 and this. So I said to the house, if you would like a new roof, just tell us. We're not telling you that your roof is bad. You tell us what you like and if you need it. So what happened is that as we were working with this transaction, the buyer and I got a better experience of the house and the life of the house and the way it was as a being. So again, the house is conscious. I think what began to happen was that the buyers were able to have an ongoing relationship with the house. And so if you start saying you have a bad roof and it didn't have a bad roof, then you're going to start creating conditions for a bad roof. So we always want to ask, what do you need versus telling the house what it needs, because if you start solidifying your perceptions, that's going to solidify your reality. Molecules are going to and atoms are going to start making the roof go bad. Okay, Kiala, which is not to be confused with KR, says, great, thanks. Anything else? Aheliakala, anything to say about this? And he responds, a psychologist who uses SITH in her practice in Japan told me that when somebody came as a patient, she's not working on them. She's working on her experience of them. She could clean whatever was going on in her that she had perceived in them. And then KR says, oh yes, a constant for me in any process is that if I'm willing to clean with my experience of the person, let's say I'm talking to another broker, if I'm willing to clean with my experience with the project, with what's going on and the addresses involved, then I notice things take their own momentum. Even if a project gets stalled or stopped, that's okay. We don't want to anticipate. We're not saying every time we do Ho'oponopono, we're going to close the deal, build that house, or get that client. If we're willing to clean and let what's right happen, then there will be a momentum that starts. Even if the momentum is slow or tightened up, it will have its own energy or its own movement. That's one of my experiences with it. And I love it when I can feel that and I say, wow, this is going. It's doing its thing. Wow, this is going. It's doing its thing. I can just feel it like a liftoff. And there it goes. Woo! Okay, there's one that's going. There's another one that's going. So, what I believe that she is describing is flow. So, when you do Ho'oponopono, things flow. And she even says it's okay if things are slow to start or if things get paused. It's okay. But with Ho'oponopono, you're more likely to experience flow than not. Okay, so that is it. Any questions? Talk to you later. Bye.